I want to ask you a question. How do you know what you want to do with your life? Like, how do you figure out what's actually meant for you? It's interesting because it doesn't seem like school teaches us this. That's why so many people are feeling lost or uncertain about their future. And as a high school teacher, I get this question all the time. How do you know what you want to do with your life? And it's interesting because school didn't really help me find the answer either. And so when I took responsibility on my own and I started learning and trying to figure out what I really wanted to do with my life, when I found my answer, I couldn't help but ask and wonder why we aren't teaching this to everyone. Why doesn't everyone know this? And so I took it as a personal responsibility to help people now learn what they want to do with their lives. So I'm really excited to announce I am running a free 5-day challenge. It's called Know What You Want, and in just 5 days, I will help you find answers in ways that you should have been taught but weren't. If you're interested, please register at www.itsavibe.ca/challenge. It's 5 days, it's completely free. We'll be hanging out together and you'll get live training each day that will help you arrive at answers on your own. But not only that, actually help you find answers on your own as well. Help you move forward in life. Help you take the next action step towards your dream. And most importantly, realize your dream. At any point, you could have an aha moment that connects you to what you really want to do. So join me starting February 28th. It's a 5-day free challenge. You can register at the link in the description of this episode, and I really hope to see you there. And so on today's episode, I have a very, very special interview with a very, very special human. This is somebody that has helped me in my journey and that I've just connected with right away. When I think of her, I think of love, light, I think of energy, I think of high vibes, I just think of good times. And she is a wonderful, wonderful leader in her community and is building something very, very special because she focuses on helping others. I'm so excited to share my interview with Kronyka and help you explore the best version of yourself. And what we talk about really revolves around health, wellness, and just finding what works for you. We talk about our business, our bond, and how these products has helped us become the best versions of ourselves by helping us actually be healthy, and also helps us join a community of like-minded people. And so I'm really, really excited to share this interview with you. I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know what you think and any feedback you have. But without further ado, I'm Bhavika. I'm your host of the It's a Vibe podcast. I hope you enjoy this episode. Good. Thank you for joining me on this live. I'm so excited for this conversation. It is so overdue. We've been having so many wonderful conversations, and now I'm excited to share it with other people, and so they can get a little insight onto all the wonderful things that you have to say and that we talk about together. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited. I love your podcast and I love you, and I think you have such great energy and it's a vibe. It's literally a vibe.
Yes, that's exactly what we're here for. So without further ado, this is Kronyka. When I say this person embodies light and love, and you said it best, it's energy, it's a vibe. And to me, that's what you are. As soon as I met you, we could tell our energies clicked, and we just clicked. And we were talking the other week, and we said that we've never met before. We both met through our pages, and it just felt like we've known each other forever. And we really are on the same wavelength. And I love how you speak about energy, vibration, wellness, health, and business. And so you are a businesswoman. You stand to help empower women as well. You're an artist, you're a content creator, and I just love your message and your movement and what you do. So I'm excited to share that with everyone listening. So thanks again for being here.
That's so sweet. Thank you for inviting me. You're awesome. I'm so excited. Like those are my favorite subjects in the world. So whatever you want to know or if people have questions, I'm excited to answer.
Yeah, and I love hearing you talk about it because you really, really are passionate. Like there's something behind what you say. Like it's not empty. Like it's coming from somewhere meaningful. And that's why when you speak about it, it actually impacts people. And it impacted me, which is kind of how we met. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that because you have a beautiful story. And I think everyone start somewhere tough. Like when you find a greater path for yourself and you find something that really like lights you up, usually it comes from some sort of pain or some sort of like troubles that you have, and then you turn that kind of mess into your message. You turn it into something that helps other people because you found how it can help you. So if you could tell us a little bit about your story and how you got into kind of health, wellness, energy, how did you come about entering this world?
Okay. Well, I think that, like you said, I mean, I think humans have this bad habit of waiting until there's like something happening that you feel uncomfortable with, or like, pain or struggle. But I mean, it does not need to be this way. I wish it wasn't, but for sure, I like 3 years ago. I was really different than who I am now, and I think we wouldn't even have resonated. I think you're far more advanced than I was, and I think it took for me to really raise my vibration to connect and resonate with people like you. So I'm super grateful always for the journey and the path. But yeah, I wasn't in a bad situation in the sense that like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. So all the main areas that you need to be well to have, the best kind of life. I was struggling. It was kind of hard for me to love myself, to understand what things that I was doing that was bringing me down, right? And also have the self-worth, self-care. It wasn't, it wasn't great at that moment in my life, and I wasn't able to realize it as well. I think when you realize something, then you have to the means to work on it. So that's always a great first step, because deny is like the worst thing, right? So I think that's the main part of it, is that I realized it when I started this business. But like one of my friends, she invited me for coffee. I didn't know her a lot, but she knew some of my friends in the dance community because I'm an artist. I do all kind of arts. And so I just went to coffee with her. She told me she wanted to talk to me about this business and things like that. And I love nature. So I just listened to her, and I, I was like, let's do this. I ain't got nothing to lose. So I just started like taking care more of myself, and I just dived into personal growth as well. So not only like physical care, but like everything together, because it kind of ties up together, right? Like energy is connected to all the kinds of physical and well-being, and like mental and spiritual, emotional, all the well-beings are very connected and affect each other, right? So that started like jump started my self-care practices, and really I dive into personal growth, which is something that we share a lot. I think self-help books and audios and podcasts like the one that you have, and all those great people who inspire you, or who like reach down to your soul, like that's something really, really, really deep and impressive to me, and inspiring, and something that I love, right? So I really cultivated this love for growth, right? Raising my vibration, elevation, and I started studying energy and what vibration meant, even, right? And frequencies and sounds and how they affect you, and that kind of came and touched my art too, and then my business. It was like everything sort of tied in together. So that was awesome, and I just I just love the fact that we always grow and we always get better at things. And we just need to practice sometimes, or like take a leap of faith and things like that. But it was really a journey for me. It took me a while to get there, and learn to like appreciate, right? Like appreciate how you feel, appreciate who you are, appreciate what you do, and then just try to get better. Don't be too hard on yourself neither, right? Like it's not, this is your life, you're supposed to be happy. Like that's we're doing the best we can, right? So I was just in a bad place, like mentally, but the fact that I had people to support me as well who wanted to grow, I think that's important, like who you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
And then just having the will and the sort of the courage to be like, I'm gonna do this, because sometimes we know, actually, all of the times we know what to do, we're just
All of it.
not doing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, you go slow, but you eventually get there, right? So I'm sorry, I love speaking. It just goes like, rah. But basically, I'm an artist. I've always been, and I just started this awesome business, Arbonne, because of my friends, like I said, and it just helped me. I just found this community like full of light and love and wellness and health and alkaline vibes, so really high vibes in all of the ways. And I just fell in love with all of it, and the fact that it's eco-friendly just touches me because I love nature, So that's kind of my process, and then just learning about financial freedom as well, creating wealth, helping other women and men, helping people of color feel worthy. I think that's really, really important to me. So that's kind of where I am with it. Obviously, it's only been 3 years, and I'm excited to see in 10 years and 20 years and 50 years what kind of legacy I bring into the world and what kind of impact I can do in every second, every moment. But it's super exciting to me and inspiring. So that's about it. I'm gonna try to like.
No, that was perfect. And honestly, I do see that in you, in the way that like how dedicated you are and like consistent and disciplined, because you know if your why is strong enough, you get pulled in that direction. You get pulled down that path, and
Yeah.
you can tell that your why is strong enough. A lot to do with like your own story, like, and I think something that I believe in is like once you start to value yourself, once you start to actually work on yourself, you stop, you pause, you look at your life, and you're like something's off or something's not feeling right. It's that self-care, that self-love aspect where you're like, I don't feel as good as I think I could feel or as I should feel. And then you start to wonder why, and you start diving deep into like more so like your connection to self, and then you realize that there's so much you can learn and so much that you can like grow into, and that you almost become obsessed with that process. And so how is Arbonne related to like a lot of like personal development and growth and health? Like what is it that allows this community to kind of hit, not like you said, not just spiritual, not just physical, not just mental, like how is Arbonne helping you like holistically in a whole?
Okay, so that's basically like holistically is the word. Like holistic is the world, right? It's the interconnectedness. That's so hard to say. I'm French, so bear with me, people. Interconnectedness. I don't know, whatever. Of all things, right? So everything being connected, basically. So that's really, really important because, like I said, every area affects the other, right? So you can't do one thing and then think it doesn't affect you in other areas. Like that's impossible, right? And that's why certain food feel better than others, certain people feel better than others, certain actions and sound. Like it's really all about that. And what really, really, really attracted me to Arbonne is that I thought at first that it was just going to be like, well, I'm just gonna get healthier and then maybe I'll make money. Like, I don't know. We'll see, right?
Yep.
But it became such a deep spiritual thing in a sense that I've met people who have such soul and light and kindness, right? And they actually want to support you and train you and do all the mindset and energy work with you if you're willing. Like the tools are there, but you're not forced to do anything. You just do whatever you want as well, like your own. It's your own, yeah, exactly. Like everybody can do whatever they want. But I just love this sharing that we have, right? And I think that touched me a lot because sometimes as people, as women, as men, whatever it is, right? We tend to connect, but not fully be like, let's do this together, or like,
Yeah.
I just love your vibe. It's so hard for people to take compliments or compliment others or speak from their heart. Like vulnerability is hard for a lot of people, and I sort of learned that like it's such a strength. It's so beautiful, like the energy, and I just be like starting to speak in my mind is really like telling people how I feel and how I feel about them and things like that. So it really opened me in a lot of different ways. But I'd say all the weekly trainings that we get, also all the products, they vibrate really high. So they actually make you feel good, inside. So not just like your skin or your organs, but really like your mood, like it affects your energy, your focus, your clarity. So that brings a lot of wealth and health in other areas. You know, it's like a lot of riches. It enriches your life, like literally, because then you'll feel better. Then you know when you feel good, you do good. I really believe that, right? I think people are mean or cruel when they're sad and they have been hurt. Because happy people are not insulting anyone, right? So like
That's so true. That's so
so
true.
it's sort of like just working on yourself, growing, learning from each other, sharing. It's a lot of connection, and then we all take care of ourselves in all of the ways. So I think it's just this deep self-care that we do, as consultants and as teammates. Of course, there's a lot of teams, and you'll be attracted to the one that's perfect for you. But I literally met the most beautiful people. Actually, one of them is on the call right now. I'm so excited to see you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and just we just connect, and it's like it's such a vibe, right? Like
That's
so
it.
it really helps me. Yeah, it really helps me in all the areas because it's the main thing of humans, right? Like the main thing of who we actually are, our souls, and what we crave, but also like the intelligence of our bodies, like and how we think and stuff like that, how we connect in our brains. I think it comes in like touches all those areas. And then also things that help you in life, like give you security, like passive income and financial, freedom. Like all those things are so important and so taboo too. Like it's hard for us to speak about money in a nice way, I think. And it's good to work on that so you can actually attract it and then do great things with it. You know, if you're a great person, you're gonna do great things with your money. I really believe that. Like it just amplifies who you
Yeah,
are.
I
So if you're
that too.
good, you'll do good. So I think that's really important. And to my main thing, I think that it helped me with the company, but also the team and the products and all of the way the business works is my self-worth,
Wow.
right? Feeling worthy of things
Hmm.
and also like helping people feel worthy of things because people are awesome and they just honestly they just need to feel it, but sometimes also they need to be told that, and just be like, I can do this. Like, why
Yeah,
am I tripping? you know?
absolutely. I totally agree with that. And sometimes the hardest part is just starting that, to
Yeah,
start that journey, and it becomes daunting, it feels scary, and I think when you're alone, it's so easy to just make excuses and to push it off
yeah,
and say do it later or not now or I'm not ready or just feel like, I can't do this even. And I think when you have a community like our bond, it really helps you feel like you're not alone, and then you see the progress of other people, you see people actually doing it, you see their results, you see how much it can change them, and you see how confident they are and courageous they are and how they're just like really fearlessly being themselves, and that's how they, it's inspiring, and that's kind of what community does, especially in the online world that we live in. There's so many opportunity for you to join anything really, and so when you're finding people that are like-minded or that have the same values as you, or even values that you want to have or that you're trying to adopt, for yourself, it's really helpful to not do it alone, or do it in a way that somebody already has done it. Like for me in my journey, you introduced me to this world, you introduced me to the Arbonne community, and also just like the products, but the well-being, the mindset trainings, the whole holistic, the environment, the sustainability. There's just, it's so many levels to it, and so deep. And something that really helped me, that you helped me with, was that 30-day challenge. And I was at a point in my life where I was like, I need to make some health changes. Like I'm really valuing myself more, which means I need to value my health more. I need to take that more seriously, what I put into my body, what I'm using on my body, what I'm putting into my mind, what I'm feeding my mind. And that 30-day challenge was, it was great because it just made me do it. There's no excuses.
Yeah.
There's no like pushing it off. It's like, hey, this is the start date. Are you in? And when you kind of got me, yeah, and when you kind of got me into that, like it was super, super, like it changed me. And when you see results, you gain confidence. So can you talk about, because I know you do it a bunch of times and you've done it quite a bit. So can you tell me about your kind of experience with that 30-day journey, what that is, and how it helped you?
Yes. Oh my God, I love what you said. And I just want to say before I speak of my sort of like testimony of it, I love what you said, feed your mind. And I think that's what you have to do. Like you feed your mind. How do you feed it? You feed your body, you feed your soul, you feed your emotions. It's the vibrations. Like what do you feed yourself with? Like what kind of energy? So that's like so important what you said. Yeah, so 30 days. Okay, so Arbonne has everything. I have like 400 products, eco-friendly, da da da. But what is really interesting to me, because the 30 days is the nutrition thing. And that's what I started with. That's my first bought ever. Like that's the first thing that I bought, right? So to me that was a life changer because I was just feeling super depressed at that moment and not loving my body. And I started it for purely superficial reasons.
Don't we
But
all?
then, right, but then it got really deep because I don't really like speak that much on this a lot, but I will share with you because I feel like I trust you so much. Um, a lot of my life, I had really bad gut problems. Like in the morning, if I woke up too early, I would throw up, which is gross. I'm sorry to say that on the line. But I was really acidic. Like my gut was really suffering. And I didn't really know like how to digest normally. I didn't know how other people felt. Obviously, I'm only living in my body. And I didn't really know what was wrong as well, right? So when I started that, I was just like, well, maybe I'll feel better, maybe I'll lose weight. I don't know. If I hate it, I'll just get a refund or whatever, right? So that was my thought about it, my first thought about it. And then I did the 30 days and I felt so much better. And honestly, I cheated a bunch of time. Like I ate poutines and stuff. But like it helped me so much. The second time I did it for real, like real well. And that was amazing. But the first time I still felt amazing and I felt leaner and I felt great and I didn't throw up. And since then, I'm sorry, that like it's a big achievement for me. Like since then, I haven't thrown up once. Like I'm
Wow.
so happy. It's like
Wow.
3 years, my whole life was sort of burdened by this. So to me it's big. So I was like, okay, I think this really healed me. And I did it the first time in March. And then I redid it in September. But like all that time between, I was still fine because I found out I sort of like rerouted patterns in my brain as well, right? But I understood um my body, how it works. All our bodies are really different.
Right.
And what happened is that you remove everything that's acidic and you replace it with suggestions and stuff. And then you use the products, you make your own recipes. We do a lot of like grocery lists and recipe stuff, like a lot of suggestions. You can also make your own. We give replacements for everything, right? So just taking away everything that's inflammatory for you. And the goal of this is that after 30 days, when you reinstate one after the other, you find out what fucks you up in general. Like, because not everything will fuck you up. Not everything inflammatory is bad for your particular body, right? Some people, they're great with eating all kinds of meat and they feel fine, or gluten or dairy or whatever, and they feel great. My thing is dairy. I am lactose intolerant and I did not know all my life. And this is why I was feeling sick all the time, right? And all our childhood, everybody's like, drink milk, blah, 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 right? So even worse. Now it's less like that. But now when I need something with milk or whatever, I just use coconut milk or oat milk. That's my favorite. So, and I feel great, right? But not all the inflammatory things are bad for me. personally.
Right.
So it's just about discovering yourself, how your body works. We're all very different. So I think that's the whole goal of this, is just understanding yourself. And I really love that. And then I was like, this is great. And I just tried other things and I started sharing and I just started building my business. But like for me, that's how it came about. And the whole I see it there. That's why I'm like looking over there at the products. But the whole thing is like incorporating more prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, things that help you fight viruses, that help you feel better. It's all focused on gut health, focused on your gut flora. So that's the main thing, because your gut, I'm sure most people know now, your gut is the main thing of your body, right? It's your second brain. It's even like more important sometimes than your first brain, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
because it controls how you feel physically and mentally and emotionally, which is great.
Everything.
I mean,
Which is
main
amazing.
areas.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you feel good in your gut, you'll probably most likely feel great in all the other areas. So I think that's our main focus. You know, like it's all vegan protein as well, cleansing stuff, greens, all kinds of things, and I sustainable, of course. So those high vibes really helps me, and everybody can feel it as soon as they try the products, even if they're like doubting it. I used to be like, I'm not taking anything. I was really it had to, that's why it had to like I had to be desperate at that moment to actually try it. And
Yeah.
that's why I was going through the struggle path, I think, to put me on my actual path. Because if I wasn't, then I probably would have never tried it, because I was being silly and not trying things. Um, but it's just it's part of my journey as well. So I'm still happy for it. I'm still thankful for the bad times, because it led me to the amazing times. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I really like what you said about like understanding yourself. But really quickly before I get to that, I just want to say shout out to everyone that's on live. Like, thanks for all the love. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed. So appreciate you being here. But what you said about it's, and I wholeheartedly believe this. It's about understanding yourself. And when you start to take a second to actually pause and look at yourself, like a little bit of introspection, a little bit of self-reflection, a little bit of like, where am I? How am I feeling? What am I thinking? Where am I going? When you start
Mhm.
to actually pay attention to yourself, and what that leads to is learning about yourself and educating about yourself. And naturally, when you want to feel better and think better and do better, you have to learn how. Because unfortunately, not all of us are taught about ourselves. Like in the school curriculum, speaking as a teacher, we don't really teach students about themselves. It's more just being taught of like what to know and being able to kind of reiterate it. But when you
Yeah.
start learning about yourself, it puts you on a different path. And that's why you're saying like understanding your gut, understanding what works for your body. Like dairy doesn't work for you, but it could work for me. But that comes from taking the time to build a relationship with yourself and understanding how you best function. And when you find those optimal conditions and you start living through that, then that allows you to show up and be better for everyone else. And that's in your life and in who you're in contact with, but just even like the world at large. And I think what you're saying, like, especially with our bond, those products help fuel that. They help fuel the connection to self because they're high vibe, they're high vibration, they're high energy. And so something I want to ask you, because it's a vibe. To you, what is something like when you say a high vibe product or a high vibration product or even like
Yeah.
alkaline, like what does that mean? What does that mean to you? And like what would that mean for others?
Love that question. By the way, I love the comments as well. Super, super interesting. Um, yeah, so what I mean by that, um, things that are high vibe in general, when we talk about emotions, it's things that make you feel good, bring you joy, bring you happiness, bliss, health, all that stuff, right? Like, so the core thing of that. And that goes with people, anything too, right? When I say alkaline, I really mean it's the opposite of acidic,
Right.
right? So alkaline things vibrate very high. So alkaline water, alkaline food, alkaline anything products alkaline people, you know,
Yeah.
they vibrate high. They're the opposite of toxic, basically. So to me, that's really, really, really important. And it often also comes from nature. And what I mean by that is like nature that makes you feel good, obviously not like poisonous things,
Yeah.
but also like views can be alkaline, the ocean, things like that, right? Like things that inspire that feeling that comes and touches your soul, right? And I think that goes a lot with art as well, in a weird way that's in my brain. But
No,
I
no.
think we're really creative, as creator, right? Like humans are so creative. And I think that all entangles in that. And when I say high vibe products, alkaline products, it's really about the vibrations of them. And that's one of the first thing that I've noticed when I started like studying energy is that I felt something different from these products. And I think everybody who uses them, even if it's like skincare or your shampoo or your, shower gel, you'll feel a difference, right? You'll feel it. Like it's crazy because there's no toxins in it. There's no chemicals and things that usually accumulate in your body and they create toxic charge, right? Until you get diseases or stuff like that, which is whack to talk about. But like it's all about also decreasing that volume of toxicity that there's a lot in our environment now, and you sort of purifying yourself in all the ways that you can. So of course what you put on your skin, because 60% of what you put on your skin goes into your blood in 26 seconds,
Wow.
which is insane, right? Exactly, because your skin is an organ. It's not a shell. I used to think it was like a shell. I'm like, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's your biggest organ. So that's super important. So what do you put on your skin? What do you put in your body? How do you feed your mind, your thoughts? How do you feel your emotions? If you feel guilty about eating something, it's actually worse. We talked about this. It's actually worse than the eating of it.
Yeah,
So
we did. Yeah.
whatever you do, feel good about what you do, but if you can, because you know what's healthy for you, you know what feels best for you. So if you can go towards that, path more and more each day, then I think that's how you make great things happen and better your life step by step, right? It's not about being like changing my whole life today
Yeah,
and then
right.
tomorrow it's too hard to keep up.
Yeah, yeah,
It's about changing one thing at a time, and then all of a sudden, oh, this thing that I was struggling with is actually easy now because it's in my routine now, right? I've
yeah,
adapted
yeah.
to it.
Habits.
So it's a journey, but I think it's all about embracing whatever makes you feel the most high energy, and you'll know by the way it feels, basically.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
And you know what I think something that you really talked about, that you touched on, was how there is a lot of toxicity in our environment. And I think
Mhm.
now more than ever, people are waking up to the idea of, I don't want this in my body anymore. Like, and seeing how many of our daily products, our food, the things like you said we put on our skin, the things we use on our bodies, the things that we use to eat, like there are so many things that contain all toxic chemicals in them. And I think now more than ever, people are looking for high vibe products that don't include these, that are actually like made from good ingredients and natural ingredients, because now we're seeing how important not only it is to have those type of ingredients in our lives, but to remove that type of toxicity, like even like not just food and products, but like people, like we see what it does to us. And so I know Arbonne has such high standards in what they use and what they allow in their products, and how they focus on sustainability. So, can you talk a little bit about how Arbonne kind of prioritizes um, good quality products in all of their products, and how they're kind of trying to support the environmental movement about, our connection to the natural world, and trying to kind of maintain that. And again, hello everyone in the comments. I appreciate being here. Thanks for the love.
Yes. Yeah, everybody is awesome. I thank you for all the love. Yeah, so we're really focused on eco-friendly and also helping people. So we're B Corp certified. I don't know if you know a bit about B Corp. It's beneficial corporation. So it's really hard, the certification to obtain, but it's really about rewarding the people who care about the planet, who impact people, like the people who work in Arbonne or the company that's concerned, really impact them positively, and also the customers, so the clients. So it's really about the balance between the social, the environmental, and the profits. So I think that's really interesting. And we're really sustainable in a sense that we banned over 2,000 ingredients from our formulas, right? So anything that's deemed cancerous or toxic or anything like that, we do not use it. It's banned from our formulas. It's the highest standard in the world up to date, because here we live in Canada. In Canada, it's 350, right? That they banned. In Quebec, anyway, it's 350. I think in Canada, the country, it's 50 actually, but it's 350 in Quebec. In the US, it's like 13. So
I know. That's what
everyone can sell whatever they want. But the highest standards, it's apart from our bond, it's European standards is 1,500. So we have 500 more ingredients that we're not going to use that at all, you know. So I think that really shows something, and you can feel it as well. By the way, you know, the results that you get from the products. And also we're really working on being the best that we can for the planet. So like the warehouses are zero waste. We're going to be zero waste all in everything, in every aspect by 2025, which is super soon. So in 3 years, we'll be all over. So not just the warehouses. We also, everything that is packaged is recyclable and made of recycled materials, although they're gorgeous, which is super impressive. And we also have Arbon Cycle, which is a partnership with TerraCycle. So anything that's harder to recycle, we send it to them so they can make park benches, backpacks, jungle gyms, things that have long lives, right? When it comes to those materials. So we're really, you know, we're trying to do more things. Like recently, some of the skincare lines were all changed into glass, except the one that's like the cleanser, because everybody puts it in the shower. We don't want any accidents there, but things like that. Like we're really innovative. We have renewable energy in the offices and the warehouses, stuff like that. So we're trying to do our best to always continue to raise the bar when it comes to eco-friendly practices, and we really want to like impact the world positively. So the people that work in Arbonne are obviously so in love with everything that we do, right? And the clients are well served. You get 90 days money back guarantee, whatever, even if you tried like half of the bottle or half of the product, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's about quality and service. And I think that really shows something, like that really shows how much we want to make things better for people and be beneficial. And also like so that's my favorite part because I love trees. So we have carbon neutral delivery. So we actually pay to plant trees for every delivery that is made.
That's awesome.
So that's awesome to me. That's something that I care a lot about, and I had actually never heard of that before. I'm sure other companies do it, and I think that's awesome if everyone starts doing it. But I think it's just the future. It's just such a progress, and we're such in like this e-commerce online shopping vibe. I know that I buy most of my things online, whatever from which company. So I think it's such a blessing to be part of that wave, but also like protect the environment at the same time and be mindful and conscious of what we do. That's a big thing for me. And just respecting our beautiful Mother Earth, and the people in it and the animals. We're obviously vegan and cruelty free, so it's really part of who we are, and we'll never use anything that has any animal byproduct. Like even at some point, our founder was asked if he would accept like honey and beeswax and stuff like that in his products, and he said no. I don't care. It doesn't hurt them to produce it. I'm not using anything from animals, and I thought that was so interesting. Especially in the beauty industry and even skincare and especially makeup, but like even in other areas, I think that's really impressive. To be like, no, I'm not, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I think that's really powerful too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it shows you their values. It's not just about trying to make money. It's not about trying to cut costs. It's not about
Yeah.
like trying to just do whatever you can to like make a sale or make a product. It's like, no, we have these standards and we have these values, and that means more to us than anything. And if that
Right, like
proves out,
ethics and honor.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And ethics is a good word to say that, because it is something that I think the world is, or at least should be, trying to strive more towards in terms of like respect to kind of like nature and the natural world. So I want to ask you, like, on your journey,
Yes.
I know you love nature, and I know, like you said, you love trees. How have you incorporated kind of like nature into your daily world or your daily practice? Because I know also you love art, and also Arbonne being so environment conscious. What is nature like to you, and like how does it help you in ways that maybe somebody else would also like benefit from kind of like your practices, or like your views about nature?
Cool. That's such an awesome question. Nobody's ever asked me that.
Nice.
So nature, yeah, that's so cool. So nature is in all of my arts. Even dance. I always think of nature when I dance, like wind and trees and things like that. And energy a lot. But light is like an obsession to me, like the sunlight and the moonlight and
Yeah.
stars and things like that. I think it's super powerful. Sunsets are an obsession, so I always paint sunsets. It's like the thing I paint most. Um, but yeah, I think it comes in every way in my life because I also live in a forest. I just yeah. So benefits of working online, people.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I live in forest. I love nature. I have cats and they're like around chilling. I have cats and dogs and I love animals and I feel like such a connection with them. I think they have such an intelligence that is so different from ours, but as equal as ours. I don't feel like we're more smart or whatever. Um, I just feel like it's in everything, and then now it's in my business. So that's a big step for me because I used to work in retail, and I saw all the waste. Oh my God, all the waste of the packaging, like over packaged everything in like little plastics in the bigger box of plastic, and it was like insane. I was like, I'm like, I'm participating to this fuck shit. That's how I felt, right? So now I just feel so connected to it because it's aligned with who I am. Um, Obviously, if you don't like nature, then you're probably not interested, right? But if you are, then that's you probably feel the same as me. That's like so powerful to be part of the solution, and that's how I feel that we are. But also in every day of my life, I feel connected to nature. Like when I meditate, even if I'm inside, I feel it. Like I go to this space that it's like crystalline and full of love and light and like the vibe of nature, like not necessarily just trees, but like this vibration that the plants and the flowers emit. I don't know if you know what I mean, but
Yeah, 100%.
um
100%.
I feel that. I feel it even in the winter. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like it's a feeling of bliss and it's full. It kind of fills you up. So I go to that place when I meditate as well. So it's part of my daily practices to just feel connected to nature and to take the time to feel connected. Um, but mostly, like I think we are in nature as well, right?
Agreed.
Like the way we walk and connect and dance and vibe and love. I think it's really beautiful and it makes me think of art and patterns and colors and flowers. Like everything to me is sort of mixed. I don't like defining too much things because I feel one with most of the things. So that's, you know, I think nature is part of everything that I do, everything that I am. It is who I am, it is who we are collectively, and the universe is so cool, you guys. Like I think about it and I'm like,
What?
I don't even know why we tripping over nothing. Like,
I know, I hear you. I totally
I mean, it's valid, obviously, but sometimes when you like step back and see the biggest picture, like I saw this quote, and this is so perfect. I saw this quote from, I think it's Jim Carrey who wrote this on his Instagram, and it was like, there's 100 billion stars in our galaxy, and 100 billion galaxies in like this universe. And I was like, and he's like, have some perspective, you know? And I was like, that is awesome, first of all. Like, it's beautiful. Like, in the big picture, it's all about you feeling good and being happy and doing the best you can, you know? And you create ripples through the universe with that. But like, don't freak out too much because like the world is so big and awesome and there's aliens out there chilling as well. So we're, you know, all that is matters is love, and it's just feeling that light, because we are light, our souls are light. So even the meanest of people, I think, can get better and feel better, and I think it's just because they went through things. But I think it's all workable. I don't think I'm better or worse than anyone. You know, I don't feel better than the meanest person, and I don't feel worse than the best of the saints. You know, so it's just about, we're all different, we're all been through different things, and we're all trying our best, I think, at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. And like it is so important to gain that perspective, and then also to have the empathy towards other people to understand like where they're coming from. Because, you know, if you're zoomed in and you're focusing on maybe that what that person said, or some sort of situation, you don't have perspective, and really that causes, you know, criticism or judgment. And if you were to zoom out and think like, okay, you know, where is this coming from, why are they feeling this way, why are they acting this way, and you gain a little bit of perspective, it helps you be more compassionate and more understanding, and even more patient. And I think what you're saying, it's like, it's not you comparing yourself to that person, is who you are in the moment, like your awareness to the situation. And so it's constantly, it's not like you versus them, like you need to react or put them in their place or say that you're right and they're wrong, or that
Yeah.
you're in a better place and they're not. It's more so using your awareness to kind of realize that like they're coming from somewhere, and it's not about me versus them, it's about me becoming aware of me, so then I can respond in the best way possible to kind of move forward in this situation. And so I think everything you said, it really comes back to connection with self. And I think that's why both of us are so into like personal development and self growth. So why do you think it's important to have something that you're constantly working towards that also helps you work on yourself? Like, what is that journey of like actually working on self growth and personal development? And like, why does it need to be incorporated into our lives, and how does it help us kind of move forward in the right direction?
That's such an interesting question. I think it's just because of the way the universe is made, and that's the way that we are as well. Like, it's constantly expanding, like literally all the time, right? So it's constantly creating more. And I think that's the way that we are, and that's why when I want this thing, and then I have it, and I'm like, but I want this other thing. Like, it's normal. Like, it shouldn't be, right. Like, it shouldn't be considered as bad. I think it's just expansion. It's just, you've grown into a place where you're like, well, I do deserve this, and then now I'm going to deserve even more, and that's awesome and beautiful. Especially if you have great intentions, you're awesome. Like, you can do anything. Like, people have so much potential, and they're just afraid sometimes, right? They just lack the self-love. So I think that's why it's important to work on this, because when you work on your self-growth, your self-worth, your self-love, then you actually believe and know that you can accomplish things that you want to accomplish. And that helps the world. It inspires others, and it creates ripples through the universe, like I said before. And it makes like the world a better place, and it makes it more expensive and creative and full of joy and love and laughter and pleasure and sharing and connection. And I think that's what we're supposed to do. You know, we're lights, we expand all the time. And that's why self-help books and audios and all that stuff is so important. Connecting with people, finding your tribe is important. Being with people make you feel good. We don't have no time for people who want to stay in a place where like they want to talk shit or whatever it is, right?
Plain
It's
or
not, those are excuses for them to not create and expand and feel better by like taking the leap, right? So if you do feel like you want to advance and you want to feel better, then you'll have to like let go of some things and then start doing things that make you actually feel better and progress. And I think there's something about like learning that is so exciting. And I think I'm sure as a teacher, you feel that way. It's like
oh yeah.
there's this new thing that I'm gonna get super good at. Like I think that's so exciting and like creation is awesome. So I think that as we grow, we want to grow more and it becomes this healthy obsession, like you said earlier. And I think it's awesome. That's why I think we vibe on so many things. And I really recommend Abram X to anyone who's watching. And
That's
obviously
our
there's
girl.
great like Tony Robbins and all that stuff, but like Abram is like literally the universe talking to you, and that's just it always feels amazing. Like and like we can do all of the things because we're awesome. So I think that's why it's important to me, but just because we're made the way the universe is made. So
Yeah.
expansion
That was
is the
a
word.
beautiful, beautiful answer. I totally, totally loved what you said. And to me, what you described is an entrepreneur, is the entrepreneur mindset, in the sense that if you choose that path, which I do think it chooses you in a way, if you go down
Yeah.
that path of like entrepreneurship, it has to be where you are continually learning about yourself, learning how to help others, learning about growing and moving forward and doing it. Even if you're scared, even if you're worried,
Yeah.
even if something's getting in your way, it's about overcoming yourself and knowing that like you've been called to serve a group of people. You have some sort of greater purpose and the world needs what you have to offer, whatever problem you've solved for yourself or something that you can add value to somebody else's life because it's added value to your life. And you take that lesson and then you share it. And I think that's what being an entrepreneur is. And I think that's why a lot of people are becoming more drawn to that type of lifestyle and to that type of path because they are starting to realize that within themselves. And when you choose entrepreneur lifestyle, you don't have any other choice but to show up because you have to. That is your life. And so you learn how to stay disciplined and committed and consistent and show up for yourself because you know you're trying to show up for others. And actually, you have some sort of service that you want to provide, whether it's through products, whether it's some sort of service of yourself, but there's something that you're there to try and help people with. And so I kind of want to end with, if somebody wanted to go down this path, I know that Arbonne is such a great starting point into kind of an entrepreneurship lifestyle and to also just help people in a way that has helped you as well. And so if somebody was interested in maybe joining your team, so I'm a part of your team, which is, I have to say this right before I say move on, but you are an amazing leader. That is something that I was immediately drawn to, and that's something I still think about. Like I literally think about this all the time, especially when I see your posts. You are somebody that is just like people gravitate towards, and you are amazing at kind of taking people and showing them how, but also showing them that they're capable within themselves. And you're just like relentless in like the most positive way, in the sense that like you want better for other people and like you genuinely put other people before you. And I feel like you have that like kind of that vibe, that caregiver vibe, and you're an amazing leader. So joining your team was like such a natural move for me, and I just felt like I feel like you take care of me.
Let me cry
Love me
now.
when I'm not like even like when we're not talking, you know, like I know you're thinking about us. I know that you're like wanting good for us, and I know you're doing it also for us and not just for yourself. And that's why I love like your team and the community you're building and like the women that you empower. So I want to say, like, if somebody wanted to be a part of this movement, if somebody wanted to join, like, what were the steps, and like what are the benefits of joining our bond like this, and being a part of your team?
Okay, first of all, you're the sweetest human in the world, like hands down. But and also everything you say about me is what's in you. Like I feel that about you. You're such a divine leader to me, and I loved you since the first video I've ever saw of you, like talking about 5D, and I was like, I love you. Can we be friends?
And we were
So,
instantly.
see, I manifested you
Yeah,
because
you
now,
did.
my
Say,
vision is accomplished.
say, I
And
needed
you're my
you
homie.
too.
So thank you, God and universe. So yeah, I mean it's really simple. Just reach out to us, reach out to Bhavika, no problem. We'll help you go through the steps. It's literally, I know a lot of companies have a lot of fees and things like that. For us, it's not like that at all. It's $59 Canadian. It's 49 US if you live in the US. We're in 6 countries, so let us know what country you're from if you're not from one of those two. And it's really simple. Honestly, you literally already have your site and you buy whatever you would use anyway. There's no obligations though, no minimum sales, no minimums buy. There's nothing like that. It's really about you finding a place in this community and just growing and having all the tools are free. All the trainings that we provide are free as well if you're a consultant. So there's no not forcing you to anything. Some people, they're just here in my team for the discounts, honestly, because they just love the products that they would buy anyway. But instead of buying them at the drugstore or whatever, they buy them in their own shop. So that's basically it. Or you can be a client as well of Viveka if you're just interested in the products. But some people actually build so big. So I'm super, super grateful to my OMIs that are amazing vice presidents. So they help us build all the time, and I'm just so excited because it can actually become your way to design your perfect life, right? Like to me, that's really empowering, and I just love what I do because I just get to help people and have great feedback and serve them the best that I can in all of the ways. So not just in one. So I think that's really, really awesome. So it's really simple. Just reach out to us. We'll give you more info. Just reach out to Bhavika and that's it. There's no like a million steps. It's just getting to believe in yourself and building whatever you want to build. This could be a legacy for your children as well, because this business is willable for 7 generations. So it's really empowering to have something to give your kids. I know that that's gonna help mine so much, so I'm really, really excited about that. It's one of the things that I love as well, family, and just get to make a great impact, whether as a consultant or a client. So to me, it's just the best. It has helped me in every area in my life. It's literally everything, and it allowed me to meet wonderful people, also meet my soulmate. So I'm forever grateful. Yeah, and just feel good in my body and have great energy and just feel great. Like that's all that we want, I think, is well-being in all areas, like pleasantness in all the areas. I think is the key, and that's what it's given me. So it's forever something I want to share, and it's not a burden to share it. For me, it's like a gift that I can give to others. And it's awesome because usually gifts are just for you, but now you get to share it.
Oh,
so,
that's sweet. That's very
so,
sweet.
and put it to your own flavor. Like I love energy, I love nature, I love art,
Yeah.
and I love saying, "What's up, homie?" And I'm always the same, just growing into my light. But there's all kinds of people, doctors and engineers and electricians and nurses and chiropractors and masotherapists and teachers and artists. And it's not about what you do, it's about who you are and what you want to impact the world with. So if you resonate with that, then that's awesome, and you should definitely reach out to Bhavika.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was such an awesome response. And like you literally hit all parts of it. And this conversation to me was very much a holistic conversation in the sense that like you said, like if you're interested in this, like it's a physical health, it's spiritual health, it's mental health, it's emotional health, and also like you create like a family, like we are friends, and like this has connected us in ways that like I would have never thought before. I used to like kind of like downplay online communities, but it's a thing, and like when you are in one, you notice it and you see it. And like you
Yeah,
said, like it's not just about like, okay, well, I want to use these products. That's one thing. You can use them for yourself, but then you can also help other people and join the team and then share the gift and actually make an impact on other people's lives. But then also you get like the free trainings, and then you get other people who are like you, who have the same kind of drive and mission and purpose, and you just meet people that you would have never thought you would have met before, and it's such a beautiful
yeah.
connection, like all parts
And
of
we're
it.
gonna chill in real life in all of the trips and the
Yeah.
retreats, and I'm so excited.
Oh, all the perks. And you'd be surprised
Yeah,
how many perks there are. And honestly, if you're interested at all, yes, please reach out to me at It's a Vibe Movement. I'm happy to chat with you. And even us, like Kronyka would come maybe and have a conversation with you as well.
yeah,
And like totally kind of fill you in and help you get started, and or just learn and to see maybe this is for you, or and maybe it's not. It's more so putting yourself out there to opportunity, not closing up the doors. But if this piqued
yeah.
your interest or curiosity, please reach out. And I just want to say thank you so much for talking to me. It's always such an amazing conversation. I swear we could talk for hours and hours and hours, and we
I
literally
know.
and it's just so beautiful to meet someone like you, and I'm so grateful you're in my life and that we can kind of share even like in this way where we're online on Instagram live, and like people have joined us, all of you that were listening in and all of you that are listening now. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and thank you for listening to our conversation. Thank you for having the time and showing up for me as well. I'm so glad that we met, and I'm excited to see what's to come. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We're doing big things together. Love you so much, and can't wait to have you on my
Yay, that's
as
next.
your interviewer. I got so many questions for you. So I'm excited. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you. Love you. And I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
And remember, you really are just one epiphany away. Thanks for vibing. Peace.